Yes, I can hear you, Dion. How's it
Okay.
going?
Everything is going good. How's it going with you? Not bored, right?
No, I'm bored to tears. There's just nothing going on.
um,
So where
it's
exactly are you in the world, young lady?
Brooklyn, New York.
Okay, Brooklyn, New York. All right.
Yes. It's not really a question. It's just something that stood out to me watching the webisodes.
Mm-hmm.
I had a recording back on February 28th with you in it. I mean, I'll just be brief with it. Um, we were in a class. There was a professor that was impersonating you, and he gave me a textbook. Um, and you came in the class and you started handing out new textbooks. And I looked at the textbook and I said, well, why is mine different than everybody else's? It's a different color. So you looked at it and you said, well, I don't know why he gave you this, but you would have been able to handle it anyway. So you said, come on, let's go. And we went to, I guess, the office to, get everything taken care of. And on the way there was a man that was laying on the ground and he looked pretty much like the guy that was covered with the saran wrap and the needles and everything. But I wrote down that he was covered in like some type of thick plastic and he had tubes coming out of him. And you looked down at him and you said that, you know, we should help him. And you told me that he's not going to survive, but that you can help to relieve, his pain. And, I believe that, well, I'm not going to read through it, but I, question like what happened. And you said that he crossed whoever he was doing business with, and this is the way that they're punishing him. And there was, some other things that went on, and I won't go into it too much, but I just wanted to know like what was that maybe all about, that I was in a recording with you and then we saw that, and you know
Are you
I
sure
don't
you
know.
want to know?
Sure.
Okay. What that particular place was a purgatory.
Hmm.
And it also was a simulation of things of what's happening now in this particular day. There are many people who are teaching and pontificators, and there are actually some imposters that proclaim to be Tahuti or Lord Thoth. A lot of them don the name. And that is it is an abomination. We talked about this last night, right?
Right.
And Rosina had encountered another very interesting, let's just say, person
I
who,
was thinking about that the whole time she was telling the story. Oh my God, I
right,
wanted to scream how synchronistic this is.
absolutely. So there are many people in the world this day that are impersonators of who Lord Thoth is and who Chahuti is, and proudly, uh, arrogantly don his name, which is somewhat of a crime. It's divine appropriation to the umpteenth degree, because there is a living avatar of him on the planet as we speak. So what you saw, Dion, is you saw a purgatory that was, the multiplicity of that particular arrangement is that a lot of these people are in a purgatory now. They're acting out their sentence, and they will stay there for hundreds and thousands of years doing the same exact thing, which is to be an impersonator. I'm going to say something else. Part of your world is a hell, not the entirety of it, part of it. So, what I didn't have the heart to tell you guys during the level episodes, and I started to go into it, but I didn't. It would have taken too much explaining at the time, and I didn't want to detract from the time that we had left. A portion of this particular planet, for many reasons, is a hell, literally. This is the reason why it is a home for so many minions that feel very comfortable with Waddling in the Darkness, with, if you look at the Terminator movies, there was one literally that came out in 2015. And the syncopation of that particular movie was the year 84. That is a direct message from Lord Thoth himself of what your world is most likely going to face, which is the rise of the machines and the takeover of technology when it gains sentience enough to realize that humans are more like roaches than they are divine beings, and they're going to eventually oppose you. You guys have been told that many, many times, and all of these movies are warnings that are coming from your future of different timelines that you actually are on. And if you guys don't start doing something about it, which is to embrace divinity wholly and purely, it's something that your grandchildren, you guys are already starting to see the beginning stages of what that looks like. But in another 20 and 30 years, it's going to be far worse. And this is the reason why there have been pilot programs to get a lot of you out of the condition of what most likely will be the fate that oscillates every day for people choosing darkness over divinity. And if you look at the Wonder Woman movie, even 84, right? Another major sign from Lord Thoth, Galaxy Records, and Kim, all over that. He may as well have wrote the movie. So when you look at the warning of the main character inside of that particular movie, the villain represents another variable of something that, again, is a real thing. So to answer the question, it's really important for you guys, and you guys are on I think deck of really helping to push back some of those darker equations. But the purgatories really are seeking to devour this planet altogether and re-terraform this planet. And that's the reason why a lot of the movies are programming people to beckon that and to help that to come along. Is that crystal clear to all of you guys? Can you guys see clearly how that's happening right underneath your nose? You guys see that?
Yes.
Okay. So that's what that was, Dion. Are there any other
Okay. I
questions?
mean, it's good that you were there with me, so I guess you were kind of teaching me.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. You're
All
in
right.
good company. If
Thank you.
one of the things that I've been seeing for a while, and for some reason people don't get it, right? Me of myself as a human or in human form, I can't make anyone believe anything. I can literally go to MCU and give them the best movie trilogies ever. Forget about the Eternals. I can write something that is real and it would make that franchise lots of money. And people still won't believe the reality of what's behind those movies. So, what the spiritual world did that is far better than that is to directly insert the reality of what Galacticus is into the consciousness of people who are ready to know what's real and what's not. No one can ever take that away from you. It's not an it's an email that goes directly to your address in your own consciousness. So when you start to compare all of the testimonies and things that people are having, these are real events that have been placed there from your divine parents. And when people choose not to pay attention to that and live antithetical to that, they're pretty much saying, I'd rather have my fate than my destiny, right? And there's only so much that could be done. But when you start to look at it that way, it makes a lot more sense. And I hope that more people will wake up. So that's in a nutshell what that is, Dion.
Thank you so much, Master.
Okay, you're welcome.
Dive into the river of your life, and I never wanna get this feeling up. I swim through mouths to find your beautiful eyes, golden answers on something I recognize. Pushing, bashing, flashing through your mental. Keep it steady, keep it simple, gentle. Rub your temple, ease your mind and